is Chief Meteorologist Chase Jones.
Okay, we got to talk about the weather, people, because some pretty dynamic systems are making their way through. Now, the cloud cover pushing over us right now, that's the moisture off the west coast. It's getting here a little earlier. And then you saw Zoe talking about Imelda and Umberto. Those two systems working together are going to slow things down in the upper level pattern. And we're looking at those temperatures fall inside that 30-degree spread, but right now just inside the 20s. Take a good look from those mid-80s all the way down to 60 degrees. But you see how we're fighting back and forth with some of those southerly winds. Then all the way up into those lower 80s, and we'll see how quickly we cool off again tonight before we make our way right back up into those 90s with some of those clearer skies. 81 in San Angelo, everybody else in a combination of those lower 80s. Not really, everyone's at 81 degrees, so getting a better idea of the steady cloud cover making its way over. 78 in Sterling City, 85 down there in Junction, just outside the 10-degree spread, but not in the direction that we want. Of course, a little bit warmer in those lower elevations, but by tomorrow, some clear skies going to make their way through. Dew points are way down there in those 50s, while humidity indices are in those 30s and those 40s. So we're getting a better idea of those humid temperatures, but it definitely doesn't feel that humid out there. Moisture tracker is going to show you how the dry air is sitting over us, but here comes some tropical activity off the west coast. While both of those systems are going to make their way off the east, that will clear things up in the upper level pattern, but the blocking pattern that's going to form right behind it, pretty dynamic because it's going to lock itself in place. So I'll stay out of the way while we see those systems make their way up the east coast with some ridging all the way from Texas, pushing all the way into the Great Lakes. Off the west coast, the entire time I've been talking, a cutoff low is going to form, and we're going to stay in this pattern for about a week. So we're wrapping up September, and then we're starting October with some beautiful temperatures. This will be cold air making its way in. Usually when we see this pattern, Jose, we're going to see a low pressure system and that high pressure work together, and that'll pull a whole lot of moisture up and around the Sierra Madre. So we'll see how cool it gets. Water vapor imagery showing us deep troughing over the Panhandle and the Concho Valley. Another deep trough off the west coast, and then off the east coast, another deep trough working in tandem with both of those hurricanes. So you get a better idea of the pattern that we're dealing with this week. Severe weather outlook is showing us the direct reflection as it targets the Rocky Mountains, but keeping Arizona, the Concho Valley, and the central portion of the United States out of the crosshairs. We take you down to the surface to get a better idea of both of those hurricanes working in tandem with the cloud cover over the Concho Valley, and the next round trying to fight its way in. So you see how those hurricanes are really slowing things down. Here's the futurecast, watching that cloud cover make its way out by tomorrow. Really feeling like fall for the end of September, the beginning of October. Here comes some of that colder air trying to fight its way down. But off the east coast, both of those hurricanes just taking their time while it slows everything down here in the Concho Valley while we deal with beautiful, quiet temperatures. Tonight, all the way back down into those upper 70s, but I'm on the lookout for a little bit of light rain. Then tomorrow, a good run at those lower, well, those upper 80s, if not those lower 90s. It's the last day of September, but it's Taco Tuesday. The weather's going to be perfect because a perfect day, a more better day really to end the end of the month. But as we get closer towards October, spooky season going strong as we level out in those lower 90s while those overnight lows just hang out in those lower 60s. Stay tuned on more of the break. You're watching KSAN News at 5.